to describe it as euphoria. I ain't famous, but I'm damn sure victorious. See me, I'm doing good, I ain't ever doing bad. All about La Familia, all about this bag. Feeling like the best, to describe it as euphoria.
Daryl Say Dat Jay Kenny was born at approximately 3 p.m. at Methodist Hospital in Maryville, Indiana, to Daryl Wayne Kenny and Tamara Dewan Kenny. His birth marked the continuation of a legacy shaped by resilience, survival, and the deep cultural influences of both Gary, Indiana, and South Central Los Angeles. Family roots and influences. Daryl's father, Daryl Wayne Kenny, came of age in Gary, Indiana, during the 1970s and early 1980s, a period marked by white flight, when a mass exodus of white residents transformed the city's racial and economic landscape. During this time, Gary was a tough environment, struggling with economic decline, crime, and systemic neglect. Like many young men navigating the challenges of the city, Daryl Wayne became involved in street life, joining the Glen Park Romancers, a local gang that operated under the more widely recognized Vice Lords organization. Despite his early involvement in gang culture, he sought a different path and, in 1984, enlisted in the United States Navy. The military gave him structure, discipline, and an opportunity to escape the hardships of his hometown. While serving in San Diego aboard the USS Midway in 1988, he met Tamara Dewan Kenny, the woman who would become his wife and the mother of his child. Tamara grew up in South Central Los Angeles in the 70s and early 80s, a time when the city was deeply entrenched in gang culture and territorial conflicts. She was raised in an area predominantly influenced by the 20 Outlaws, a feared and respected street gang in her neighborhood. Surrounded by the realities of crime, poverty, and community struggle, she developed a strong sense of resilience and street smarts that would later shape how she raised her children. Despite coming from different backgrounds, Daryl and Tamara connected, drawn together by shared experiences of survival and ambition for something greater. In 1989, they married in Los Angeles, California, solidifying their bond and beginning their journey as a family. The move to Gary, Indiana. In 1990, the couple relocated to Gary, Indiana, bringing along Tamara's 6-year-old daughter, Dana Tate. The move was a significant shift, taking Tamara from the fast-paced, gang-infested streets of South Central LA to the industrial and economically struggling Midwest. For Daryl Wayne, it was a return to familiar ground, one where he had family and history. Daryl at this time would make a good living for his family as an Indiana State Corrections officer, where he ultimately used his street credit for extra benefits. Gary, Indiana, in the 90s was still dealing with the aftershocks of economic collapse and rising crime. The once thriving steel industry had declined, leaving many families struggling to make ends meet. The Kennys had to navigate the challenges of raising a family in an environment that demanded toughness, resilience, and strategic decision-making. As a child, Daryl Say Dat Jay Kenny grew up witnessing the sharp contrast between his parents' worlds. His father's structured military discipline and street knowledge from Gary, and his mother's survival instincts shaped by the streets of LA. These influences played a major role in shaping his identity, providing him with both the hard-edged street wisdom of his environment and the ambition to rise above it. The foundation for his future was set, one built on survival, strength, and the determination to carve out his own path in the world.
Start with the first one. Okay. I was born in Marysville. I guess the hospitals were better out there. My mom is from Los Angeles, South Central, to be exact. My dad is from Gary, Indiana. You know, Gary was fucked up. You know, I'm not gonna mistake it, you know, we're gonna put the graphics and stuff up there, but Gary was the murder capital. Did you know that? Gary was the murder capital for a long time, or for a couple years at least. I don't know which years, but it was some of them years we was out there. It was real rough, real rugged and raw, real raw. What they say? We live rough, we live raw. It was fucked up in Gary, man. I live next to some woods. Remember I was telling my uncle, I live next to some, that shit looked like some Freddy Krueger type shit, some Jason type shit. That shit was across the street. It was some apartment buildings, and it was some fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre woods. And, and you know, it was fucked up. That shit hit hard with me. And Medicine Society, remember when they started shooting at the end and the boy was on the big wheel and shit? That was me. I was on the big wheel one time. They started shooting this shit. I don't know what the fuck it was over, but they used to shoot all the time, man. Everybody was coming up dead and shit. All my parents, like they homies and shit. She had a homie that died. He got shot outside of a club, but like a week before that, I guess he had got like a music executive, caught him and like kidnapped him and shit, and was like telling him to sign him or some crazy shit, man. It was crazy. My dad, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but he was a correctional officer. So I grew up having shit, because he had a pretty good job. He had a good job. He was a correctional officer from what I can remember. We was Muslims. We started off as Muslims. And one day my dad went to the mosque with some shorts on. They said he couldn't wear no shorts, and my dad was a rebel. My dad was a rebel. He was a real rebel. A little bit after that, we was Hebrew Israelites. I still carry the Hebrew Israelite, belief system. No, that started back in '95. My mom kept a job. My dad kept a job. My sister went to performing arts school. Shout out to my sister Dana. She put the Young B documentary together, or helped put the Young B documentary together. So shout out to her.
And he went against B Magic. What's his name? Young
B. Young B the Future. Young B the Future.
I would love to see him. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I want him.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Young B punch. That boy
he punch hard. He punch hard. He coming for your throat too.
Bet Young B the Future.
In the meantime, while I was living in Gary, every year from when I was a infant, we would come to South Central. Every year I would come to South Central and fuck with B. Shit, from when I was like 2 years old all the way up until we moved back to California, I would come fuck with B. Shit. Took a plane once. We would take the train. The Southwest Chief. Shout out to the Southwest Chief. Niggas don't know about the Southwest Chief, man. And we would come out here every summer, and I would get the California experience.
In 1995, Daryl Wayne, Tamara, and a 6-year-old Say Dat Jay would be involved in a horrific traffic accident. While traveling on Interstate 65, the car would be struck by an 18-wheeler. This would cause the car to spin out of control and flip several times before landing in the center divider on the roof of the car. Fortunately, only minor injuries was caused by this collision.
Accident, okay, yeah, can't forget that. We was in a two-door Ford. My dad, I guess he had ordered it was called a Health Rider. I'll never forget this shit. It was a Health Rider. It was a fucking stationary bike. And he was just pressed to go get this shit. Like, I gotta go get this shit. I gotta go get my Health Rider. We driving, and on the freeway, my mom is driving. Motherfucker looking at me in my motherfucking eye. By the time I got my body back this way, boom, nigga, we fucking rolling around on the roof. The car rolled over. It's a big ass 18-wheeler trailer in the back and everything, and it's fucking a little ass two-door fucking Ford. And we rolled, and that was a fucking traumatic experience, my nigga. Shit, I looked at I looked at the nose of that motherfucker. Me and the nose of the fucking truck was like this, looking eye to eye, and yeah, we rolled over, and God always been with me, because I walked away from that without a fucking scratch. My mom, I think she banged her knee up a little bit, and man, I don't think nothing happened to my dad, and we walked away from that shit, Thank the Lord. You know, definitely thank God on that one. And yeah, that shit was I didn't like to drive on the fucking freeway. I didn't like to ride on the fucking freeway. Of course I wasn't driving it, but I didn't like to ride on the freeway for like a year or two after that. That shit was fucking traumatic. It was even worse to my mom. Like that shit was really fucking traumatic.
Growing up, Tupac Shakur's voice was the soundtrack to Say Dat Jay's childhood. His mom was a die-hard fan. His music blasted through their home speakers, filled the car on every ride, and shaped the way Say Dat Jay saw the world. His raw emotion, unfiltered truth, and poetic storytelling became second nature to SDJ before he even understood their full weight. Because of her love for Tupac, SDJ became obsessed, not just with his music, but with his life, his struggles, and his legacy. SDJ has devoured every book, watched every documentary, and studied every interview. There's not much he doesn't know about Pac. His words weren't just lyrics to Say Dat Jay. They were lessons in resilience, passion, and the duality of being both a revolutionary and a flawed human being. His life and tragic death have always fascinated SDJ. The way he navigated fame, conflict, and purpose felt larger than life, yet surreal. He was more than an artist. He was a symbol of truth, pain, and ambition. That influence, passed down from Tamara's unwavering fandom, shaped the way SDJ moved, think, and create. In many ways, Pac's legacy isn't just something he admires. It's a part of who Say Dat Jay is.
So yeah, Tupac, man. I always wondered what the fuck happened to Tupac. 2017 to where I truly knew what the fuck happened to Tupac. But yeah, man, that shit really hit home, man. Tupac was somebody I looked at as a revolutionary and shit. He probably wouldn't have been successful, but I felt like he was gonna get into politics. You know how Ice Cube did acting, Snoop Dogg and them niggas did acting, you know, people did other shit. Tupac was finna run for office and shit. I really truly feel that Tupac was finna run for office. And back then, I used to think that's why he got killed. And not until 2017, into the movie and all that shit found in came out until it was really some gangbang shit that he shouldn't have been involved in. And that shit really like bothered me from the day it happened, September 1996 to 2017. That shit never ever sat right with me, the way Tupac died, man. That shit was fucked up. I feel like if Tupac was still alive, he would have had so much shit cracking for the East Coast, the West Coast. I really feel like the world lost. When we lost Pac, the whole entire world lost when we lost Pac. Yeah, shit, man.
Relocating to California, a new chapter for the Kenny family. In the summer of 1997, Daryl Say Dat Jay Kenny left behind the streets of Gary, Indiana, to start a new chapter in Moreno Valley, California. It was a decision SDJ parents, Tamara and Daryl Wayne Kenny, now known by his Israelite name Amy Shaddai, made after much deliberation, each driven by their own deeply personal reasons. Tamara longed for the familiarity of California, the place where she was raised. After spending 7 years in Gary, she found herself homesick for the West Coast, missing the sights, sounds, and even the energy of Los Angeles, where she had grown up in the 1970s and 80s. For Amy Shaddai, the move signified an opportunity to pursue his creative aspirations in music and literature. Gary, Indiana, had been her home since 1990. It was where his older sister Dana and he spent their earliest years, where they forged childhood memories, and where their parents built a life together. But Gary was a city in decline, still grappling with the economic devastation that followed the collapse of the steel industry. It was a place that, despite its deep cultural roots and sense of community, offered limited opportunities, especially for someone with his father's ambitions. By the late 1990s, California was still a land of opportunity, particularly for creators like his father, who had dreams of making an impact through music and writing. He saw the move as a necessary step toward fulfilling his artistic vision, one that he believed could not fully materialize in Indiana. At the same time, his mother's desire to be back in California, closer to her family and the environment that shaped her, made the decision even clearer. So, with packed bags and a mix of excitement and uncertainty, the Kennys left behind the Midwest and set their sights on Moreno Valley.
I'll be out here all the time, I ain't hard to find, man. You can see me in the streets. All you gotta do is hit the 60, west to east. Exit the murder, that's me. I'll be on the block, posted with a blunt and a Glock, man. Reppin' HWG, hustling with girls. I'm with H4 style, spray if you play with me. Out here we drink a lot of liquor and get high off dope. And crime pays the niggas with the jobs broke. Hard days got us hustling. Sick with no health care, smuggling, trying to say farewell to welfare. Yeah, I'm from the murder, with windware grills, boys man versus wild, and I'm like Bear Grylls. If you come correct, you know what I'm about, man. Just look for the city with the M on the mountain.
I'll never forget it, man. I came out here first day. Of course, I already knew Young B. Champ, Schwab, King D, for this purpose. I knew them because I came out here every year. But when I got to Moreno Valley, where they was at this time, Young B had a PlayStation. This is 97. Everybody ain't got PlayStation. That shit brand fucking new. So, not only did he have PlayStation, but the nigga had all the games. Never forget it. The nigga had all the games. This nigga had like a blue and red bag with like all the PlayStation games, right? So I get there, I see this shit. I see the PlayStation and I see the games, right? You know what he was doing? This nigga had Bone Thugs and Biggie on, rapping that shit, like learning that shit, learning the lyrics. I'm 7, he's 9. So at 9 years old, this nigga was learning fucking rap lyrics. It's the first day I got to the murder. First day I landed on Plymouth Rock. This nigga Young B is right here next to this PlayStation and all these games, rapping Biggie and shit. So you know what I did, right? You know what I did, right? I started playing a fucking game. What do you expect? What do you expect? I didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Little did I know, you know, thinking back, the nigga was mastering his craft at 9 fucking years old. Crazy shit. 9 years old, mastering this shit. But yeah, I played the game, and it was definitely a culture shock. Gary was definitely a different place. I remember my first day of school, Arnold Heights, nigga. That shit was being gentrified. They was kicking all the niggas out of Arnold Heights. I was the last of the niggas before they kicked all the niggas out. But yeah, that was like a military school. All the military kids went there. So I went to Arnold Heights, and I'll never forget it. They said we're going to recess. I was so fucking confused. I didn't know what the fuck a recess was. And Gary, that shit was always cold and rainy and draggy and rainy and gloomy and shit. So we never went outside to play. But we went to recess and shit. We was all outside in these mountains and shit. You know, I ain't never been up that close to no mountain before. The Midwest is flat as fuck. No mountains. So that shit was really... I'm gonna get Champ on this motherfucker. Champ always tell the story about how I stared at the fucking sunroof. It wasn't no fucking sunroofs in here. I didn't know what the fuck. Why is it a window in the fucking ceiling and shit? It fucked me up. It became the murder. And the next, go ahead. What we doing next? You don't know what the minutes to the murder is?
No, I don't.
You don't know what the minutes to the murder is?
The foundation. In 1997, the Kennys, packed up and moved to Moreno Valley, California. It was a fresh start for them, but for DJ, it was also the beginning of a journey that would shape his life forever. It was in Moreno Valley that he reconnected with his cousin, Young B the Future, who had already been living there for about a year. What started as a family reunion quickly turned into a brotherhood built on hip-hop. Young B's love for hip-hop wasn't something that just happened overnight. It was passed down to him. His older brother, his DJ cousin Daniel Champ Anderson, was a walking hip-hop encyclopedia. Champ had a deep respect for the culture, from its roots in the Bronx to the golden era of the 90s. He wasn't just about the music. He understood the history, the art of storytelling, the raw energy behind every verse. That passion for the culture didn't just stay with him. It trickled down to Young B, who soaked up everything Champ taught him. And once Say Dat Jay came into the picture, that knowledge was passed down to him. Between 1999 and 2005, their bond as cousins transformed into something much bigger. The three of them, Champ, Young B, and Say Dat Jay, spent countless hours locked in, freestyling over instrumentals, studying lyrics, and debating hip-hop's greatest. They weren't just fans. They were students of the game. Nas verse, Jay-Z, Tupac verse, Biggie, Kiss verse bands. The best lyricists, the greatest albums. These weren't just conversations. They were battles of knowledge. Every session was a challenge, a test to push their skills and deepen the love for the culture. As the 2000s progressed, Young B started making waves beyond freestyle sessions. He took everything he learned from Champ and applied it to his music, crafting a sound that resonated with the streets of Moreno Valley and beyond. By the mid-2000s, his name started to ring bells locally. His mixtapes Menace to the Murder and Chaperones of the City were more than just projects. They were statements. They showcased his raw lyricism, storytelling, and undeniable presence on the mic. These weren't just underground tapes. They became street anthems, cementing his reputation as the most promising artist in the city. His buzz eventually led to an opportunity to work with Marcus Black, a rising artist and internet personality who would later gain mainstream attention on Love and Hip Hop. This was a turning point for Young B, a moment where his talent was no longer just a local secret. It was getting recognized on a larger scale. The years between 99 and 05 were the foundation of everything DJ knows about hip hop. Young B was more than just DJ's cousin. He was his mentor, his guide into this world of beats, bars, and culture. The hours they spent freestyling, debating, and studying the game weren't just pastimes. They were the building blocks of the artist both would become. And though Young B is no longer here, his influence lives on in every verse DJ spit, every song he writes, and every moment he dedicates to this culture they both love.
Nah, Menace to the Murder was Young B's first mixtape, man. When Menace to the Murder dropped, everything fucking changed. Shit, at that point, I was thrust into the fucking music industry. At that point, I didn't know nothing about rap. This is Menace to the Murder came out 2004, 04, 05. At that point, yeah, I didn't know shit about nothing besides Tupac. I'm probably like the only nigga I know that actually went back and studied hip hop. For example, broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the stage, no, you just don't care. Can't take the smell, can't take the noise, got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with the baseball bats. I tried to get away, like I could quote you shit like that, word for word, line for line. You wanna know why? You wanna know why? Because I went back and listened to all that shit, man. I went back and listened to all that shit, you know, and I really went back and was listening to that and bumping that shit. It was 2003, 2002. I was bumping Run DMC and shit. Mom, Adidas and all that shit. It's tricky. Like back in them days in 02 when niggas was listening to like up-to-date music. I was listening to like Grandmaster Flash and KRS-One and shit. So I really went back And people would tell you this shit. When Minutes to the Murder came out, that's the point. That's when everything changed. I had to get hip as a 6th grader or whatever grade, 7th, 8th, whatever grade I was in. I had to get hip, you know, and that changed everything. That put Young B on the map as far as the local scene. The rapping was just impeccable. At a young age, you know, Young B was rapping when we was kids. Like I said, he was studying Biggie at 9 years old, 10, 11 years old. He freestyling pretty much every fucking day. So by the time Minutes to the Murder came out in 2005, he's just a rapping god. By the time he got to, in 2005, he was only like 16, 17. At that time, he was just like, I don't understand it. Still to this day, 2024, I don't understand how he was saying the shit that he was saying at that age without no real life experiences, being grown and being an adult. He was rapping about shit that was just ahead of his time, to say the least bit. Fucking niggas was writing that shit with a Sharpie on CD. This the CD era. We was slinging CDs and shit. I was a part of the street team, 05. Yeah, man, that put a lot of fucking spotlight on us. We had our crew. We had our crew. Greedy Genius, rest in peace, came around during this time. Katrina happened around that time. Greedy Genius from New Orleans, man. He came out here, him and Young B battle off camera. And ever since then, that nigga was like family. Shout out to Greedy Genius, you know. I was a brother to me, rest in peace. And 05, man, the year of the Shack. Shout out to the Shack. Do you know what the Shack is? The Shack is something that you gotta be from Reno Valley. And not only do you gotta be from Reno Valley, you got to been outside between 04 and 07, 08. The Shack, you know, was a social club. It was a social club. And we used to party till 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning every weekend. You know, man, shout out to the squad, man. Slim, Sin, everybody, bro. Uli, everybody. White, everybody, you know. Shout out to everybody. B went to Hollywood. I hadn't graduated yet. 2008 hit. B went to Hollywood. Shout out to Paper. Paper, Marcus Black. We always knew Marcus Black. I met Marcus Black when I was 14 years old. Paper always been in the fucking industry somehow, some way. Paper was always in the fucking industry. Paper always been Hollywood. We had this joke. Paper was always fucking Hollywood. He couldn't go Hollywood on niggas. You wanna know why Paper couldn't go Hollywood on niggas? Cause Paper was always Hollywood. Paper links up B with Dr. Dre's son. I'll say Dr. Dre's son, man. Something happened with like Brian Pumper and Hood Surgeon. Hood Surgeon sold some music to Brian Pumper and some shit like that. And that shit just went south. They called baddies back then. Young B was on Bad Girls Club. Have I ever showed you that shit? Young B on Bad Girls Club. He was on the infamous episode. Tanisha, I'll never forget it because I was actually watching that shit when that shit aired, and Young B was so secretive, he didn't tell nobody that he was on fucking TV. So we watching that shit as a fucking family, and then niggas are like, is that B? Is that Brandon? And sure enough, it was fucking Brandon, the infamous episode. That's because Young B was over there the fucking night before. Young B was on TV. That nigga made it to fucking reality fucking TV. That shit blew my mind at that point.
The Rise, Young B the Future's Path to Greatness. By 2005, Young B the Future was no longer just a local name. He was a movement. The years of dedication, the relentless freestyling, the hunger to be great, all of it was beginning to pay off. His natural talent and work ethic pushed him into spaces most artists only dream of, and from that point on, his career was defined by one thing: progression. This mindset was naturally pushed to Say Dat Jay. His first major breakthrough came when he linked up with the Black Card Boys, a rap group led by Bay Area artist Rich Rocker, known at the time as Your Boy. The collective had regional dominance, moving through California's underground scene with authority. With their street-savvy lyricism and undeniable energy, the Black Card Boys commanded attention, and Young B fit right in. He wasn't just another rapper in the crew, he was a standout. His clever wordplay, infectious delivery, and sharp storytelling made him a force to be reckoned with. And this time he would cross paths with artists like YG, Mr. Fab, Lazy Bone, and many other household names. During this time, he started to see the rewards of his years of hard work. His name was spreading, not just in Moreno Valley but throughout California and beyond. His music was respected, his presence was undeniable, and his reputation as a lyricist was growing. But for Young B, just making music wasn't enough. He wanted to prove, beyond a doubt, that he was one of the best. That hunger led him to a new challenge: battle rap. In 2013, along with Say Dat Jay, Sham, and King D, Young B stepped into the battle rap scene, a space that had grown into one of the most respected platforms in hip-hop. It was raw, unforgiving, and demanded nothing but the best from those who dared to step into the ring. For some, battle rap was a proving ground. For Young B, it was a playground. Between 2013 and 2014, he battled 21 times, an impressive feat that showcased not only his skill but his dedication to the craft. His ability to break down an opponent, deliver hard-hitting punchlines, and control the crowd made him a fan favorite almost immediately. His energy was electric, his confidence unmatched, and every battle felt like a moment. Out of all the battles he had, two stood out the most: his matchups against Danny Myers and B Magic. Both opponents were highly respected in the battle rap world, known for their lyricism and aggressive delivery. But Young B didn't just show up, he showed out. He proved he could hang with the best, delivering bars that had the crowd going crazy. These battles solidified his position as one of the brightest rising stars in the culture. His performance against B Magic, in particular, would change everything. That battle wasn't just another moment in his career, it was the moment, because someone was watching. Someone who had been a pillar of West Coast hip-hop for decades. Snoop Dogg. Snoop saw something special in Young B, recognizing the raw talent and star power that had been building for years. And when it came time to put together a battle for the 2014 BET Hip Hop Awards, Snoop made sure Young B was part of it. The opportunity to battle on such a massive stage, under the guidance of a hip-hop legend, was a testament to how far he had come. By the time 2014 rolled around, Young B the Future wasn't just an up-and-coming rapper, he was a star in the making. His journey from Moreno Valley ciphers to respected battle rap stages, from underground mixtapes to co-signs from legends, was proof of what happens when talent meets determination. He was carving out his own lane, making an undeniable impact on the culture. This chapter of his life was defined by grind, growth, and greatness. He had built a name, a legacy, and a movement that was gaining momentum with every battle, every verse, every opportunity. Young B was no longer just a student, he was becoming the teacher, inspiring not only Say Dat Jay but a new generation of artists who saw in him what he had once seen in the legends before him. His future was bright, and it felt like this was only the beginning. The young homie Young B the Future going off that ghost.
Oh yeah, man, you already know we out here. Uncle Snoop, man, Young B, Gladiator School, we coming, man.
Here we come, here we come, here we kitty come, come.
You know, I gotta give credit to three main people: Andy Milanakis, Daz, and Lil Half Dead, known now as Point Five. From the information that I got, them was the three main people pushing Young B the Future to Snoop. Snoop first learned about Young B the Future from the Dre Vicious battle. He saw that battle and B impressed him. He wanted to work with B, reached out to him, tweeted to him. Once that tweet went out, everything changed overnight. B was one of the GOATs. If you ask me, if you ask a lot of other people, they'll tell you the same thing.
Back to the ish. Man, I'm just a prophet, Elijah Muhammad, Islamic, but my shit Christian. Psych, seem like everybody want attention, so I just believe in God, I ain't fucking with religion. Head of foul ass niggas touching on the chillin', and they expect us to be chillin'. But I'ma keep it funky like a chitlin' and tell you when I don't feel it. That's how you know you dealing with the realest. And you could cry rivers like Philip, but I don't give a shit, cause I ain't got shit, and if I had shit, I wouldn't give it. A nigga doing bad and you don't even know the difference. So when you ask how I'm doing, I'ma say terrific. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good.
Drop, wait, now roll, what, roll, like stop. Drop, hey, now roll. Drop, now roll. Stop, drop, wait, now roll, what. Give your body a little twist. We gon' stop, drop, and roll like this. Cause everybody in the club gon' do this. Forget a two-step, man, do your roll. Just let your body go, you feel it in your toes. Just break it down low, no matter where you go. I do my stop and drop and roll, even at the stove. She said she like my dance, so she wanna see some.
The Say Dat era, losing Young B the Future in 2014 was a devastating blow. He wasn't Say Dat Jay's cousin, he was his mentor, his big brother, and one of the biggest influences on his artistry. His passing left a void that couldn't be filled. But if there was one thing he knew for certain, it was that he couldn't let his legacy fade. He had to keep pushing. He had to keep creating. He had to keep going. In 2015, fresh off a trip to New York with female battle rapper 8 or 14, SD, Jay found himself at crossroads. He was back home in Moreno Valley, searching for his next step. That's when he reached out to Bernard, an old friend from Moreno Valley High School. They hadn't spoken in years, but SD, Jay knew he was heavily involved in the local music scene. As it turned out, he was managing a rap duo named Yolo Cruz and Squint, a group called Say Dat Clique. Say Dat Jay had history with Yolo Cruz dating back to 2012, but Squint was a new face to him. That didn't matter though. The moment they linked up, the chemistry was undeniable. They welcomed SD, Jay into the fold with open arms, and just like that, he had found his new team. The energy was different, fresh, and inspiring. They weren't just making music, they were building something real. Shortly after SD, Jay joined, they made a small but significant change, switching Say Dat Clique to Say Dat Entertainment, Say Dat ENT. What started as a rap group evolved into a movement. With Bernard leading the way as manager, they quickly made waves in the Inland Empire, becoming one of the most talked about acts in the region. Their sound was raw, energetic, and authentic. They fed off each other's creativity, each bringing something unique to the table, whether it was in the studio, on stage. Or in the streets promoting their brand, Say Dat ENT was everywhere. The music they created wasn't just well received, it was celebrated. They were making noise, and the industry was starting to take notice. With Bernard's sharp management skills and connections, they secured major performance opportunities, sharing stages with some of the biggest names in hip-hop. They performed alongside Mozzie, Eric Bellinger, the late Nipsey Hussle, and dozens of other household names. These weren't just shows, they were milestones, moments that proved they belonged on those stages, that they were more than just another rap group, but were a force. From packed clubs to festival stages, they made their mark, and with each show, the reputation grew stronger. The Inland Empire embraced them, and the music resonated with a community that saw their own struggles, victories, and dreams reflected in their lyrics. But as the years passed, creative differences began to emerge. There were three individuals with distinct visions, ambitions, and personal goals. What once felt effortless started to feel like a struggle. The unity that had fueled Say Dat began to fade, not because of drama or bad blood, but because they were all evolving in different directions. By 2018, it was clear that the best move for everybody was to go their separate ways. It was a mutual decision, a respectful end to an incredible chapter. They built something special, something that left a lasting impact on the Inland Empire's hip-hop scene. For SDJ, Say Dat was more than just a rap group. It was a turning point. It was proof that he could stand on his own, that he could take everything Young B taught him and apply it to his own journey. It was a reminder that no matter where life took him, hip-hop would always be in his DNA. The Say Dat era may have ended in 2018, but the movement will last forever.
Go by the name of Yolo Cruz, man, aka Mr. Smiles himself. You already know the deal. First time I met Say Dat Jay, I want to say it was in like 2010. I want to say 2010, 2011. We was I was with KO. I was with Vishawn, and I was with who else I was with? KO, Vishawn.
I think Bernard came around.
And Bernard, yeah, it was Bernard.
Was he around?
Yeah, it was Bernard. And we actually was in the studio in Moreno Valley off of Sunnymead, RJ studio. And we was there and chopping it up. I was actually gonna do a song and everything. And that's when Say Dat Jay, he was in the studio. He already booked the session. So we were sitting there chopping it up and talking and everything. And that's how I met Paper. That's how I met Paper. And Paper actually, yeah, Marcus Black now. He was actually giving Say Dat Jay some tickets because I guess Marcus Black had a show in Hollywood. And we were just sitting there chopping it up and everything like that. I let him know where I was from, told him Altadena. He was like, yeah, I'm from Moreno Valley, we finna get it cracking. And then after that, it was history. He joined the team. I was pushing Say Dat Click. Say Dat started from Say Dat started from when I was locked up. Everybody used to say that. And when I got out, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start like a little music thing because I was always into music and poetry. So I kind of like created like the Say Dat. And then Vishawn came along, he added the click to it. He had like this little crazy little, this art image of like some guy, I don't remember what it was, but he kind of added the click to it. So instead of Say Dat, it was Say Dat Click. We was doing our thing in Moreno Valley, Hollywood, IE. We was doing our shit, you feel me? And I guess as you grow older, you start to separate. And like I was still taking the music serious, but people started like having families and stuff like that. But my favorite moment, all of them, to be honest, was all the moments. All the moments was good. We had great moments together.
Who did we perform with? Nipsey Hussle.
My favorite one was with Nipsey Hussle and Eric Bellinger. Like we rocked the show. I swear to bro, everybody knew who he was. We was making noises. We performed with Too Short. Eric Bellinger, Nipsey Hussle, who else?
Gang of motherfuckers.
The Game. We kind of opened up for every West Coast artist you could think about. And like our name was getting known, like we was getting known, we was getting out there. But like I said, people started having families and like just started separating it. But I still stuck with the music. And then after the music, I kind of came out with Smiles Clothing, which was birthed in Moreno Valley. It was birthed in Moreno Valley, yeah. I created it in Moreno Valley. You feel me? And yeah, that's how we go about doing that, man. We had great times, man.
And so that'll be your reason for the stagnation of Say Dat. Like, what happened? Like,
yeah, like I said, a lot of people we started to separate, brother. everybody would just separate, like I said, having kids. I forgot to mention my boy, Squid. Come on, man. Squid was the Tupac. Squid was the Tupac. Squid was the Tupac to say that. I promise you. He had the tattoos. He had the look. He was hard. I ain't gonna even lie, bro. When you first see me, I barely started doing music, and I learned so much from Squint. I learned a lot from him. He was very musically talented. Like the guy had a hunger for music. Very talented. And yeah, that was my boy, man. We did a lot of songs together, me and Squint, man. Like, I miss that dude, brother. That was my boy, man. I can't forget about Squint, man. S to the Q, bitch. Shout out my nigga Squint, man.
To wrap it up, what we got going now, bro? What we doing?
So
bro?
right now it's all about smiles, brother. I mean, I still do music. I just dropped 2 singles. I dropped one of my singles called I Can't Trust That Bitch. And then another single I dropped was Double Back featuring Little Vader. Yeah. So I'm still doing music here and there, but I'm going full-fledged on the clothes. Smiles.
Yeah, what is this behind you?
This is the booth right here, man. Smiles Clothing, y'all know where we at, man. I had to do the interview here in the trenches at the Ontario Mills Mall where I'm gonna stay at, you feel me? Yeah, Smiles Clothing is what it is. Y'all can come get y'all
Get you a fit, man.
Yeah, you see the fit. Yeah, the cameraman got on one too, man. If y'all can see it, the cameraman got on one too,
yeah,
man.
I'm finna take a picture.
Listen, man. Let's get it.
Hell yeah, good looking, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
Boy, oh boy, was some fun having to Say That entertainment days. After Young B passed, Say That Entertainment was definitely some fresh air for me. I enjoyed that shit. The shows, the party buses, the parties, the video shoots, everything was a moment, man. I don't know. Everybody just went their separate ways one day. I got a lot of love for everybody. Squint, Bernard, YOLO. I got a lot of love for all them guys. And everybody that was a part of the Say That movement. Because it was more people, everybody. Shout out to every single body. But it was at this moment, around this time, 2018, where I just felt like I had to make my next move, man. I had to make my next move. Even though I was converting from rap, I knew a zone. I knew a path I could take.
SDJTV.com. You're now in tune to FUTV. You understand what I'm saying? What I got for y'all tonight is the first episode of what I call Inside Stories presented by FUTV. What I'm gonna be doing in this segment of the channel is basically just giving the fans and, you know what I'm saying, the people that don't be inside, stories about the inside. You know what I'm saying? Simple, man. Tonight, what I got for y'all, first episode, man. Shout out to everybody listening. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
FUTV. After the untimely passing of Young B and the mutual split of Say Dat ENT, something in Say Dat Jay started to shift. Losing Young B was devastating. He was more than just a collaborator. He was family. His energy, his passion, and his hunger for greatness made SD Jay push himself harder in music. But after he was gone, and after Say Dat ENT dissolved, he found himself losing that same hunger. He still loved the art of hip-hop. That was never going to change. But the actual process of rapping, of writing, recording, and performing started to feel more like an obligation than a passion. SD Jay would continue to release music because his supporters expected him to, because people still wanted to hear him rap. But deep down, he knew his heart wasn't in it the way it used to be. He wasn't waking up eager to hit the studio anymore. The excitement he once had for making music had faded. Around this time, he found himself gravitating towards something new, podcasting. He started to see how big the podcasting world was becoming, especially in urban media. It was a new way to engage with fans, to have real conversations, and to express his thoughts without the constraints of a beat or a verse. He stopped watching TV altogether and became glued to podcasts. Whether it was urban culture discussions or long-form interviews on the Joe Rogan Experience, he was soaking it all in. While in New York, he got the chance to see Uncle Ron, a well-known battle rap blogger, in action. Watching him work, he was drawn to his charisma and the way he conducted interviews. It wasn't just about the questions he asked, it was how he made the people he interviewed feel comfortable.
I saw Uncle Rod doing this thing, interviewing all the battle rappers, Goods, Farrah Funeral, and all of them that was at Panic Room 3, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to do that.
How he controlled the energy of the conversation. That moment planted a seed in Say Dat Jay's mind. He decided to take a step back from music and focus on his YouTube channel, FUTV. It was a risk because he had built his name in music, and he didn't know how people would respond to this transition. But he believed in the vision. His first taste of success on YouTube came from a video he did about Jay Prince helping a rapper get back a stolen chain. The video gained traction, and he started realizing the potential of content creation. He saw firsthand how powerful YouTube could be, not just as a platform to talk about culture, but as a way to actually shape it. As he kept grinding, he got a major opportunity to interview with Doggy Diamonds, a respected voice in hip-hop media. Doggy was aware but didn't fully know the story or connection to Young B the Future. That interview was a turning point. Not only did it help introduce Say Dat Jay's story to a larger audience, but it also led to Jay building a connection with Doggy Diamonds himself. Over time, Doggy has given a lot of valuable advice on YouTube, content strategy, and how to navigate the media space. Doggy Diamonds has been in the game for years and knew the ins and outs of building a platform. Having that guidance helped SDJ level up his approach to content. A year later, another major opportunity came through Marcus Black. Through that connection, Say Dat Jay got the chance to record a podcast at 100 Entertainment Studios, the home studio of music executive and internet personality Wack 100. That was a game changer. Being in that space, surrounded by industry power players and seeing how things operated on that level, confirmed to Say Dat Jay that he was moving in the right direction. Today, Say Dat Jay sees podcasting and YouTube content creation as not only an easier lane than rapping, but also a much more lucrative one. With music, everything was an uphill battle. Studio time, marketing, distribution, dealing with labels and streaming revenue. But with podcasting and content creation, he has full control. He could put out what he wanted, when he wanted, and engage with his audience in real time. The game had changed, and he found his place in it. This documentary is called That's It because that's exactly how Say Dat Jay feels. Not about hip-hop, but about rapping. He will always love the culture, and he will always respect the art of lyricism. But for SDJ, that chapter is closed. He found a new lane, one that not only excites him but also allows him to build something bigger than just music. FUTV isn't just a YouTube channel, it's a brand, a platform, a movement. It represents independence, authenticity, and real conversations. It's the next chapter.
But yeah, it's a presence missing in the media game that I feel like I can fulfill. And that's really what it's about, man.
You feel like you can't multitask?
It's a money thing, bro. But if you got something to say against that, now's your opportunity to say it.
I personally think it's bullshit, but who am I?
What do you think? What do you mean you think it's bullshit?
I think it's bullshit that she's retiring from being an artist, from being a creator. You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm not retiring from being a creator.
No,
I'm gonna create content.
Though.
Yeah. You know, but I'm finna switch this shit to media.
Yeah. Wanted to show my
www.sdjtv.com for everything. Let's go. That's it. Tired of these lame ass niggas, lame ass bitches, social media driven. That's it.
Why is everybody so rich? Everybody so lit, really don't be having the shit. That's it. Really don't be having the shit. That's it. Really don't be having the grip. That's it. In the hood having the dip. That's it. That's it. That's it. Tired of the bullshit. I'm the best full clip. Ben Simmons with your shot, that means you never pull shit. Running like a puppet master. Don't make a nigga start spazzing. Nothing coming after revelations to you little bastards. Mixed like a fucking master. Ever try to play my name, I'll bury ya. Which is shame is evident. And it's plain. SJ the best man. Like the best friend of a fucking room. Move shit like I'm Dr. Doom. Tesla truck when I'm copping soon. Done what I gotta prove. Like a judo where I fucking move. Jury brighter than the moon. My whole team extremely shrewd. Yeah. My whole team extremely shrewd. Yeah. SCJ nigga. That's it. Tired of these lame ass niggas, lame ass bitches, social media driven. That's it. Why is everybody so rich? Everybody so lit, really don't be having the shit. That's it. Really don't be having the shit. That's it. Really don't be having the grip. That's it. In the hood having the dip. That's it. That's it. That's it. Every step calculated, every move dynamic. Fuck with La Familia, get sunk like the Titanic. Getting money fucking crazy, give great dick to my lady. NBA in the 80s, everything a common foul. Trying to find a common ground, everything monetizing now. Oh, capping ass niggas don't be having the shit. Oh, capping ass niggas don't be having the grip. The land, they not touching the shit. I got a team with niggas they not fucking with. Everybody think they all tough and shit. Everybody think that they